All right, we're going to get going, and I apologize if I stop to let people in. Oh, here are two more. It is so nice to see so many people here. I am just so excited and grateful. Again, we're asking everybody to mute themselves. In fact, I'm just going to hit mute all. So message me if you need to say something. Wanted to introduce myself. My name is Amy Silverman, and I've created the storytelling event Wordslaw as an experiment kind of merging journalism and storytelling well, I'll explain. So this is part of a visiting fellowship I'm doing this month with the Neiman Foundation, and I'm so grateful and thankful to the Neiman Foundation for supporting me in this. This all started as an idea to better cover people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I did a big project last year, and I worked with some of my favorite people, Becca and Bina, who are here today, on a project about services for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And one thing that we realized was that too often journalists write around the main people in their stories rather than directly interviewing them or featuring them. And so we wanted, in this case, to put people with intellectual and developmental disabilities literally on stage in the center of the story. And we were lucky enough to have Becca lead an amazing workshop last summer to try it out. And because the goal of my Neiman Fellowship was to figure out better ways for journalists to cover people with IDD, we decided to start there, to start with more stories. So that's how Wordslaw began. We only had 3 weeks to pull these stories together. 5 stories by 5 storytellers. I'm actually going to introduce everybody, and you can wave, and hopefully you can see them. And if not, you'll see them on the video. Matt Hoie, wave, Matt. Cassie Camacho, Sophie Stern, Leah Mapstead, and Hailey Simon. Welcome to our storytellers. Let's see, we came up with a theme, which is best friends, and we workshopped, and we wrote, and we workshopped again, and we revised, and we workshopped again, and we rehearsed a lot, and then we videotaped the pieces, and that's what you're going to see today. We're really lucky because we have a DJ today. Sophie was our DJ. It's a tradition at some of the storytelling events that I do to have a song assigned to each story. And so that's what we've done for Wordslaw as well. And remember that, because you'll get a party favor at the end of the event. I also want to give a shout out to Make for our beautiful logo. Rosie's here. And you can read more about the creators of the logo on our website, which is wordslaw.org. Let's see, I also wanted to thank everyone at ProPublica and the Arizona Daily Star for all the work that you did with us last year that led to a project like this. I will put the information for our social media in the chat. Oh, thank you, Sophie. Our Instagram and Twitter have the same handles, Wordslaw Stories, WORDSLAWSTORIES. And you can also read about the origin of the name Wordslaw on our website. Finally, I want to thank Maddie Latham, who's sitting right here, ready to help me in case of any sort of emergencies. She's been phenomenal. She spent the weekend captioning the videos, just has been wonderful. I also want to thank September, who's doing our ASL interpretation. And she should be spotlit on your computer, and hopefully she will stay there. But drop us a message in the chat, or you could drop her a message in the chat if you can't see her. Actually, better drop it to me. She's busy. And one very final thing, there are going to be 5 stories today, and there will be one of the readers' best friends will appear in the final video. And if you have any issues with reptiles, you might just want to not look at the computer during that story. But I really hope you stick around and listen to the story because it's really beautiful. And if you like snakes, then you're in for a treat. So don't leave, Mom. My mom's here. She's probably freaking out at this, Leah. All right, does anyone have any questions before we get started?
Aaron from South Advocacy of Connecticut, though. My first time doing this, though. Thank you for inviting me.
Aaron, thank you so much for coming. And you reminded me, I wanted to let everybody know, if you have any interest, if you like it after the show, we're going to have a Q&A and a time to discuss and talk about the importance of stories. And then there will definitely be an opportunity to get in touch if you'd like to do a future event and work on some stories together. I would love to do that, Aaron, and anyone else who's interested. All right, Maddie, did I forget anything? No, all right. So I'm going to hit mute all.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, of course, Sharon. Hi.
Hi. I see the interpreter on the full screen, and then when I switch to something else, I see myself, but I'm not seeing the, oh, let me get back on Zoom. I just turned it off. Back to meeting.
I have an idea, Sharon. Your daughter, who's also on the call, is a pro at Zoom. Cindy, do you think that you can walk her through it?
Yes, I will.
Okay, awesome. Because I want to make sure everybody gets to see, but we got to get started because some folks are going to have to leave. Right.
I don't know what to do.
Oh, hold on. Julia has, I know, Julia. We will have to write a letter to Zoom. I'm not sure what else to do. Gallery view is going to be the closest I think that we can get. But the good news is you're going to get to see the video, and that is going to show you everybody in living color. So with no further ado, we started. All right. I'm hitting mute.
This is the interpreter.
Yes.
I did mute myself
Leah
before.
is hiding that she has a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Never mind. I was just trying to help Julia out, who also had the same question as I did.
All right. I wish we, well, what I really wish is that we were all in person. So, but let's get going. Okay. Okay, everybody, I'm going to share my screen now. Let's get ready.
Hello everyone, I'm Matt. My name's Matt, and my story is called Exploring the Path to Friendship. It can be hard to make friends, especially for someone who might have a form of social disability. For example, as someone with autism, I'm not all that well versed in the steps it takes to nourish a relationship. I completed a transition program at First Place, which is an apartment building that also offers classes on independent living skills. They taught some steps for making friends, like making phone calls and texting. It's sometimes hard for me to do those things, but setting up a schedule can help. I schedule times to reach out to a friend, and that seems to work. Friends help us build our social skills, and this also stimulates a part of the brain that makes us more pleasant to be around. I suspect that when people are alone, this may be the cause of having or developing a negative opinion or outlook towards the outside world. Although it's not the only factor, experiences have that effect on us as well, for better or worse. Friends can have a positive impact on us. When I was in the independent living program at First Place, we had the opportunity to talk to each other a lot. And I guess in doing so, this encouraged me to open up to some of the others about what I like, and even become interested in things that they like. I noticed that for some of them like tigers or certain kinds of movies. So you discover things about other people and sometimes about yourself. Friends can help you express things about yourself. You have someone to share the things you enjoy, and it means you ultimately find a kindred spirit. It can make me feel more welcome in the world because the world seems like a more comfortable place. Some of the people I know also have struggles with making friends that are similar to mine, so it's sometimes up to me to push forward on relationships. To an extent, it feels good, but I'm also looking for a friend like me. For example, I'm looking for someone who doesn't lack confidence, someone with a measure of self-certainty. I also look for insight, meaning I appreciate someone who approaches things with an open mind and it has a talent for interpretation. For me, I hope it's as simple as finding the path to friendship. Creating that path would be an intimidating task.
Hello, I'm Sophie Stern. I'm 18 years old, and I'm going to be reading You've Got a Friend in Me. It's easy to make friends, but hard at the same time. It's easy to go up to someone and say hi, but it's hard to find a bond with someone like you don't know with others that helps you become by friends with someone. When I was a sophomore going into my junior year of high school, we were doing a musical and it was Hairspray. I love that movie. I auditioned for the show and my school went contact. We auditioned in groups, but the dancing was so big. We learned to dance. That was hard at first, but then it was easy. We took all day to learn it, and we practiced after school. My friends were there to support me to make the audition dance easier. I saw a friend in an audition group in the dance hallway when we were practicing. Her name was Alice. She was having trouble with the dance in the show. So I went to her and I said, "Can I help you with the moves?" She said, "Yes, please." I didn't need help, so I helped her. And she said, "Thank you." My group was ready to audition. When I auditioned for the show, I was thinking I would not get in. Then I got a text from my friend Cassie. She said, "Go to the demo hallway to see the cast list." I saw my name on the list. I was so excited to be in the show Hairspray. At musical practice, Alice helped me go for dance for my competition in the SAO, National Society of Arts and Letters competition, and my going to the studio. I chose the song "Coming Home" by Skylar Grey because my older sister Annabelle was in college. I wanted her to come home. Alice and I have talked about stuff that we like: HSM, Team TS, High School Musical, the musical series, and other things. I did not know her that well when I started the musical, but when the show closed, I hung out for her for a while, and now we love each other. I'm so happy Alice and I are best friends. I'll leave you all with a quote about friendship from the song "You've Got a Friend in Me" from the movie Toy Story. "You've got troubles, I've got them too. There isn't anything I won't do for you. You be stick together and you'll see it through because you've got a friend in me."
Hello, my name is Hailey.
And the name of my story is Best Friends. Best friends to me means always having someone to support me no matter what. This happens to me often whenever my family is having medical problems or when I'm struggling with my emotions. One or more of my friends always helps me go through these hard times. One of my friends is from Oregon, and her name is Ashley. And she has helped me when my daddy has needed to go to the emergency room. Best friends to me means a group of people having fun and hanging out a lot. This is like me and my friends because we go to events, sleepovers, or even just going to the movie or lunch. We will pick a day and a time and then just do it. One time, my friend Leah and I went to Phoenix Fan Fusion in 2019. It was a lot of fun. She really wanted to go, and I became more open-minded about what type of pop culture she likes the most. Best friends to me means having someone to talk with no matter what. Doesn't matter the time or day, just to always help each other out. My friends and I talk no matter what and always help each other. One night, my friend was struggling with some stuff happening at home and she needed my help. I think I was watching a TV show with my mom, but I saw that she needed help. So I told my mom what happened and I started texting with her just to figure out what was going on and to decide what to do. And she felt better, so I checked in on her the next day to talk about other things, fun things. Always supporting each other no matter what is very touching for me because if someone is struggling with their day or with their life, they always help each other out. For example, if I need help with my script or homework, or one of my friends is struggling with what happened yesterday, and I ask for help and that person is willing to help me, then that's a big deal. We should always be there for each other. Thank you so much for listening to my story.
Title of my story is Making Milestones. I made friends when I was in school. I am still friends with Gabby, Nicole, Brooklyn, Stephanie, Crystal, and Courtney, and I also have more friends. Now, at my job as a teacher's assistant at Making Milestones, I help the students make friends. They are my friends too. They wave and hug me when they see me. When they are sad, I grab their hand, talk to them, and try and make them feel better. The kids build friendships. They sit next to each other and help each other. I like that because they get along. I help them play with toys and games together. I give the kids snacks, change diapers, clean, tie their shoes, and help them put stuff away in their backpacks. The youngest is 3 and the oldest is 12. But once they turn 12, they have to go somewhere else. Georgia is 5. Her one-on-one is me. She needs more assistance. She has Rett syndrome. She likes to put stuff in her mouth. I got to keep an eye on her, and she likes food. When we do soccer time, she likes the music and sits the whole time. Amelia is 3. She likes to play with the kids and jump around or playing on the swing and outside on the playground. She takes a nap when she is tired. Kane is 4. I think he's deaf or hard of hearing, and he likes to play with cars and trains. I feel it's easy to work with special needs kids because they can listen to you more. Shelby doesn't talk, but she's 6 now, and she's in a wheelchair, so she can't do a whole lot. I read books to her and feed her. I feel it's good. There are some challenges, but there's good people at my job. I am going to be at my job for 2 years in August. Working there makes me feel that I can help them achieve and be good, be smart, and be able to do stuff on their own. I am proud of myself for helping special needs kids like me.
Hi, my name is Leah. My story is titled Best Friends, One of Life's Special Blessings. The best friends in our lives come in many shapes, sizes, species, and breeds. Whether they're animals, humans, or some of both, they are always loved ones who we will always remember. For both animal and people friends, 2 facts remain true. They are easy to make and hard to keep, and are in our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. The first example that comes to mind when I think of best friends are the animal friends in my life. Some are furry, like my cats Pumpkin and Dexter, or Onyx, the camp cat I attend. Others are scaly, like my reptile friends at my job at Phoenix Herpetological Society, and my pet snake Sedona. Pumpkin and Dexter were my 2 cats I had growing up, and I loved them both so much. Pumpkin was a bit of a diva, but she was so affectionate, snuggly, and sweet. She also had the cutest, funniest double meow I've ever heard a cat make. It melted my heart and was often a precursor to her hopping up on my lap to curl up and get loved. Dexter was also very cuddly. He was very smart and would often herd you to where he wanted you to go. I also swear he thought he was part dog. He was always checking out what I had at meals and snack times, and oftentimes would be bold enough to stick his muzzle in to steal a couple of bites. And most of the time he liked it. Never hurt his stomach either. That cat had the stomach of steel. Then there's Onyx the camp cat at Civitan, a summer camp I've been attending for years. He's very skittish and oftentimes wants nothing to do with people. But with me, he rubs his head in my hand and does a short, soft purr, as if inviting me to give him affection. He's very sweet and is an all-black Bombay cat with strikingly green eyes. There's also my reptile buddies at Phoenix Herp, like our crocodilians, lizards, and all our snake buddies, some of whom are venomous and others who are not. Many people think reptiles are animals only a mother could love, but I can't get enough of them. They're intelligent, mysterious, surprisingly fast and strong, and are as ancient as the dinosaurs. Speaking of motherly love going along with best friends, there's my snake Sedona, a young red-tailed boa who I adopted just before Christmas of last year. She's incredibly sweet and cuddly, but is also very curious and adventurous. She's a light pinkish brown in color with wavy milk chocolate colored markings going along her back, and she's got a cream colored underbelly. I love her so much, even though I know most of my family won't ever feel the same way. She's definitely one of my best friends because she makes me happy and is so funny sometimes. Like when she decides to claim me as her person and caregiver by putting her face up to mine before wrapping herself around my glasses. It makes me laugh because it's like she thinks my glasses are a part of me and are the perfect climbing place. She's definitely a one-of-a-kind boa, that's for sure. She's very special to me and will always be one of my animal best friends. I have lots of people best friends too. First, there's my friend Hailey, who I met through my theater group Detour. Hailey was the first deaf friend I ever made. She was new to our theater group a while back, and since I knew some sign language through college, I was the first to go and stand next to her in the circle and talk with her. I asked if she wanted to be friends. She said yes, and we've been pretty close ever since. We've definitely had some great memories together too, like going to Camacho together and getting a bunch of pictures of some of our favorite characters, checking out the different booths on the second floor, and taking home some pretty epic collectible souvenirs. We get along with each other swimmingly, so our friendship is one that I treasure, and I wouldn't change being best friends with her for anything. Secondly, there's my friend Sierra, who I met during one of my summers at Camp Civitan. She was my group's volunteer for one of the weeks I attended, and it was her first time being at camp. So when we went to the camp store later that day, I took the initiative to introduce myself. I smiled and said, "My name's Leah. You seem really cool, and I'd love to get to know each other more this summer. Want to be BFFs?" She smiled the shy, sweet smile before replying, "Sure, why not? I'm new here, and it'd be nice to get to know my campers." We kept returning to camp, and her third summer there, I was shocked at how social, energetic, and enthusiastic she was. She had become a champ at being a volunteer. Over the years of her volunteering, we became so close, I even wrote her a poem one summer and performed it at skit night. She's now one of the providers at camp, and we're both going to be there for the same week this summer. I know we'll reconnect like no time in the world has passed, because she's very fun-loving, compassionate, and enthusiastic, with a very unique and entertaining personality. Building friendships takes two people willing and comfortable enough to make personal connections with each other, who genuinely care about each other and like each other for who they are. Keeping friendships takes commitment, involvement, respect, trust, honesty, integrity, compassion, understanding, patience, openness, vulnerability, and confidentiality. It involves both people giving equally on each part. There are many lessons we can learn from our best friends, as they are often some of our inspirations and teachers. They help us become better people, see the best of who we are, and are there for us through thick and thin. Best friends are important because they focus on the best parts of who you are and not your worst, and they like you for who you are inside. Dr. Seuss's quote on friendship and being yourself couldn't be more true. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind.
All right. Hello, everybody. What did you think? Should we let's unmute and give everybody a round of applause. That was so great. So now I'm really excited to have a discussion about the stories and why we told them. Just wanted to tell you all that it's so informative. It's been so informative and amazing to me as a journalist to get to work with this group of people, because I cover intellectual disability, issues around intellectual disability, but I don't get to spend time with people with intellectual disabilities as much as I want to. I do live with someone, and that's awesome. Sophie has taught me more than anyone else has. But the opportunity to get to hear this group of people work out what they thought about friendship made for, I thought, beautiful stories that we all got to enjoy listening to. But I also think it pointed out some important things that go on in society that we need to think about as we as journalists continue with our coverage. So I want to hear from all of you, or some of you. I guess we're probably not going to be able to hear from everybody. We have a nice big group, and there's some wonderful comments in the chat. I'm wondering if anyone has any questions for our storytellers. Actually, while you're putting your questions in the chat, Leah, I have one for you. Are you there, Leah?
Yeah, I hear Amy. Go ahead.
Okay. So, we talked last week a little bit, Leah, about the connection between storytelling and journalism. And what do you think that journalists can learn from storytelling?
I think that journalism can learn from storytelling how to be more inclusive to people with disabilities. A lot of times journalists and storytellers don't think about interviewing or connecting or including people with special needs. And I think it's really important because storytelling and journalism events are a great way for people with disabilities to self-advocate and to advocate for others of their kind. And it's also a chance for us to have our stories and thoughts, ideas, etc. Shared from our own perspectives and from our own words, which a lot of times isn't the case in other situations. And a lot of times there are more than one ways to connect with people. Like say you want to connect with someone with disabilities who can't talk, but you still want to include, their story. Maybe ask them to draw something because maybe they can't speak or talk, but they can write or draw. Mm-hmm. So those are two other ways you can try and connect with them that way.
Thank you so much. There's another question, and anyone can jump in if they want. Hezi wants to know if any of the storytellers learned any lessons about friendship during the pandemic.
I think I'm gonna tell you like this though. This whole thing with the whole story about all the individuals talking about, one person talking about relationships, one talking about their pets, one was talking about they were having one was having a problem with their friend and everything else, so and she solved her problem by asking her a question and everything else. So plus the other thing I wanted to say is this is good for all of us, for all people with disabilities, because this never happened for many years though. And this is a good thing that we can sit and talk about this and share with a lot of our friends and our families and our neighbors and our moms and our dads. And we have to open up though, because if we don't open up, we're not going to know exactly what to do.
Aaron, I think I now have my next storyteller right there. It's you. I'm going to be in touch. Hailey, do you want to answer the question about friendships during the pandemic?
I don't think you can hear her. I don't know if she's.
I learned that even though we're separated and we can't connect, we can still find a way to stay connected. Maybe like through Zoom or texting. Maybe like making signs, like posting up signs. People always ask, like, you can't maybe actually be together and socialize, but there's lots of different ways that you can stay connected.
That's true. And that's why we're here on the Zooms, because the Zooms always help. Because I always connect with people with my self-advocacy group where I live. And I connect with people with Special Olympics, with people with disabilities though. I've been doing Zooms with them, and I've been doing other Zooms with other people though, with parents and everything else. So, and this is good though. I understand that we couldn't be together because I know it's hard to.
Kind of the next best, it's kind of the next best thing, right, Aaron? I got a whole bunch of questions coming in, so I'm going to cut you off. I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead. No,
but your points are so well taken. Cassie, someone asked how you got involved with Wordslaw.
Where I was interested in it. Like I got to know Amy and was interested in doing this project.
But do you remember, Cassie, we actually met last year when I
met last year
for a story. Yeah.
She interviewed me for the story.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we stayed in touch, and I thought maybe you would want to tell your own story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I got interested.
Yeah. Sophie, do you want to talk a little bit about the writing process?
Yeah, so the writing process is kind of hard but easy at the same time. But it's hard for other people, but it's easy for me because I get all that from my mom. Because she does storytelling events, but I'm not gonna go my mom. Storytelling like the writing process is like let's just say that grandparents is the topic. Right, how good my grandma is and how great my grandma is a really good dancer. And
No, he was calling it.
Can you, everybody, let's mute yourselves, everybody. We're hearing a side conversation. Okay, I think I got it. Sophie, was that it? Let's see. A couple people wanted to know what your next topic is going to be. Leah, do you want to address that?
My next topic I kind of want to cover is about creativity and the arts.
I love that. What about them?
To answer someone else's question, yeah, my story definitely changed within the writing process. My story originally was over 1,500 words, and I had to cut it down to just over 1,000. So definitely became shorter.
That's always a challenge, right? So you have a lot left on the cutting room floor that you can continue to work with. Matt, Trish is asking if you've ever been interviewed before and what that process was like.
Interviewed?
Yeah, like for a story.
I don't think I've really been interviewed for a story before. What my experience with you, for example, then opening up about some of my personal experiences and friendship experiences, I think was a first for me.
You and I did talk during the pandemic about what it was like to not be able to get a vaccine. Do you remember that? And we did a radio piece together where it was just you talking. So that was an interview too, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you ever think about wanting to interview someone yourself?
Well.
No. How about here's a. Sorry.
I'd never actually thought about that.
I think that was a really good question, Trish. I think we should think about doing something like that, interviewing each other maybe. Yeah. Let's see. Any of you, Hailey, have you ever thought about becoming a journalist?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Like, how do you do it? How do you become one?
Wait, Hailey's answering Cassie. Just one sec.
Hailey said that she would enjoy writing more. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Hailey's such a good writer, and she's working on, I don't know if it's a long book or a story.
She said that she would like to be a writer, but she's not really sure how to do it in the future.
Well, you're already a writer, Hailey. You wrote a beautiful story. That's how it works.
Thank you.
Oh, bye, Mark. Thank you for coming. Does anyone else have any questions? Sophie has a question.
Yes, I was interviewed. I was interviewed for NPR, KZZ. If you want to get the info from my mom, let her know so you can listen to me on NPR.
All right. Thank you, Sophie. Yeah, Hezi was saying he thinks it's really important that self-advocates interview each other, and he put a link in the chat. So I love that. I really love that. Oh, Becca has a really great question. Hailey, maybe you want to take this one too. Why did you want to share your story about friendship? Why was that important to you?
Because, because I don't really always want to be alone. Having friends is really important, especially during the pandemic. Isolation is not enjoyable, so that's why.
Yeah. Leah said it's exciting. Oh, I'm sorry. It's exciting and nerve-inducing being interviewed because it makes you feel like people care about your story and what you have to say, but it also makes you nervous about it being shared. Oh, and there was a question about Comic-Con, and she loved it and would strongly suggest going there with someone. It's easy to get lost. Oh my gosh, I have been so lost.
Yes, me too. Me too.
To answer Becca's question, I wanted to have my story told because I wanted people to get a better understanding of who I am inside as a person, and have a chance to be viewed for a normal person, not someone with disabilities. And I also think it's just a great way of self-expression and to get yourself known and out there.
Get your story out there. Yeah, Leah's done several stories. Let's see. Julia wanted to know if you would do it again. Cassie, would you do it again?
Yes, and I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you become a journalist?
How do you become a journalist? There are a lot of different ways to do it. It's a little bit different than something like law school or medical school where you have to go to school for it. I know journalists who didn't graduate from high school. I know journalists who have a lot of different degrees in journalism and other things, but mostly you just have to get started being curious. I think that's the most important part. You have to have curiosity and find a story to tell. Oh, Adiba asks or she says, Emery would like to know if she can be a storyteller next time. Adiba and Emery, I'm not really giving you a choice. Absolutely, Emery. I already said it earlier today. You're on my list.
And yes, I would definitely do this kind of event again. I find these events so important and so much fun. They're fun because, like I said, it's a form of self-expression and helps to get your views and stories shared. And then I feel like it's important, these kinds of events, because they're an opportunity for you to self-advocate for people with special needs and to advocate for others like you. And I also think that it gives people with special needs a chance to learn more about one another and to give advice to other people who may be struggling with the same kind of things.
So well put. Hailey, did you have something else you wanted to say?
Yes, I wanted to just say that I really enjoyed this storytelling so much. It has helped me with a lot. And just hearing from other people's perspectives too, that's really, really helped me get out of my comfort zone. It's been a great experience, and getting creative and thinking about like my past to write my own story, that was awesome.
I love it.
I just really enjoyed it so much. So, and building new friendships too. So I wanted to say thank you so much.
Sophie and Leah, would you guys do me a favor and do the thing that you do every time you see each other?
Yeah.
Created by Sophie. And Leah, do you want to give a little backstory on why you guys greet each other this way?
So this is something we do when we see each other because Sophie kind of calls me her Detour mom, because when we did Beauty and the Beast with Detour, I was Mrs. Potts and Sophie was my Chip, and it was the first show we actually got to work together on after Shrek. And it's really close to our heart and really helped us kind of grow closer with each other.
Okay, take it away, you guys. Do it.
guys should call it the beauty and the writer beast.
That's
that,
right.
that makes it more perfect though, because you have one person who can speak with words, and you have one who does the sign language and everything else. So, because I tell you, you guys are like good duos though. If you guys have capes, like super capes, you guys would just be like go all out though and everything else though.
Thank you, Aaron. Sophie and Leah, you want to do your little back and forth that you always do? Okay, take it away.
Sophie, I can't hear you.
You have to say it real loud, Soph.
Okay, Mama.
Yes, Chip?
Do they live happy ever after?
Of course, darling, of course.
That's basically all my lines. And if we ever do Beauty and the Beast again, if we get Chip, I own no more lines.
All right, you already know your lines. Anybody have any? Thank you, Leah and Sophie. Sophie, do you have a question?
I just want to say thank you to my mom for making this happen. And I just want to say how great I am to be here with you, even though I'm in the other part of the house. I just want to say thank you. And I don't want to talk about something because I'm about to cry because I love you that much. And go dash for dinner.
Oh no, Matt keeps raising his, thank you, Sophie. Matt keeps raising his hand. Matt, I'm so sorry. I'm looking all over the place. Go for it. Thank you, Jen.
Yes, thank you, Amy. Well, you know, as far as seeking out stories, I guess that you might say that that it's a process of braving the dark to see the light in regards to finding out the truth behind many various secrets. It's rather unfortunate that that people look at someone with Tourette's syndrome, autism, or Down syndrome, and view that as being inferior to someone who doesn't have those, as opposed to someone with a different perspective.
I completely agree, Matt. Thank you. That is really important to share. And also, my friend Lisa says you have a great voice. So I'm not the only one who says it. Doesn't everyone think Matt has a beautiful, beautiful speaking voice?
Yes.
And also so much to say. Matt, what did you learn about friendship from writing your piece?
Oh, well, writing it.
Or from talking about it, putting it together. And maybe you didn't learn anything. That happens too.
It's hard for me to really say, but maybe just that that for some individuals who are a little different, it can be harder for them to branch out and as far as searching for friendship, and I think that part of that may have to do with the fact that some people just simply like solitude, and for those individuals forming connections is more difficult. And
that's such an important point. Sometimes you have to be able to be your own friend, right?
And this also proves harder during events of isolation like COVID.
Absolutely, yes. I know.
I just want to. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No,
Go ahead, Aaron.
I'm sorry. I just want to throw something in there between from you, Sophie, and all those guys who did such a good job though. I tell you, you guys should pat yourself on the back though, because you guys got your souls from being stuck inside your bodies to mostly let it all out. Because I tell you, it takes many years to learn how to not hold it in and let it all out. Because if you talk about it and you read like you were reading your notes and doing the stuff, The songs, I love the songs though. I love the songs though with the Golden Girls, Jack Johnson, Queen.
Wasn't
all
that
those
fun?
songs on there. Those are so awesome. But I'm gonna tell you, you guys, if you guys keep this up, guarantee you there's gonna be a lot of people, they're gonna look up to you and they're gonna say, you know what? I want to be that guy. I want to be that woman. I want to be that person where I can mostly read my story and talk about it though. Because I have a story too. And let me tell you, it was hard for me to go through that though, but I learned by getting around from places and doing things and learning how to take care of myself. I actually drive though. I mean, yes, I'm usually in and out, but I just started work. And everything else. So yes, I am wearing masks and everything else. So I don't like it though and everything else. So I know it sucks.
I know it. So I'm going to stop you, Aaron, just because but you're I completely agree with everything you said, and save a little material for when we do a storytelling event. I want to ask you a question because we spoke the other day. I was wondering what you thought and what you think the value of storytelling might be for journalists.
Talking to me?
Yeah. You want to introduce yourself and tell us who you are?
Well, my name is Paul Day. I work for Our Town Studios in Delaware, Ohio. I've worked there for 13 years. And I'm an artist, basically. Pretty much, I mean, you guys have such great stories that need to be told, not just on the county level, but on the state level.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you think storytelling can do how can it help a journalist?
I mean, if a journalist is ready to hear the story that needs to be told, then that will open up so much for them, because it will make them not only a better journalist, but a better person.
Yeah, I think that's really eloquent. Yes, thank you. Anybody else have a question? Oh, Sophie, is that Leah? I'm sorry, Leah, I'm gonna let you go first because Sophie's gone.
I just want to have a chance to say thank you to first Amy, Becca, and September for putting this event together and being such a big help to everyone here. I'd secondly want to thank our audience for everyone who showed up to listen to the stories today. Can't tell you how much it means to people like us to have people see and listen to our stories.
Oh, Leah, that was beautiful. Thank you. And thanks to all the storytellers. So your party favor is in the chat, and it is a link to Sophie's BFF playlist. You can grab it out of the chat. We're also
right now.
Well, it's in the chat right now. Yeah, Sophie posted it. And we're also going to put it on our website. So we'll send an email to all the participants with some links and the link to the Spotify playlist in case you want to hear those friendship songs again. Leah, did you want to give a little plug for the next Detour show?
Oh yeah, for anyone who's able or wanting to come, Detour will be performing the 11th, 12th, and 13th at the Scottsdale Center for the Performing Arts. There will be a show that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's called Some More of Our Best, and it is a collection of song and dance snippets from various shows that we've done in the past with Detour.
So as we were saying before, Hailey and Sophie and Leah are all actors with Detour. We have some other Detour folks on here as well today, and they'd love for you to come to their show. It is here in Scottsdale, so you have to be local. And there's a link to Detour Company Theater in the chat. You might want to check out what they're up to. They do amazing work, and they're among our favorites.
Amy?
Yes. Yeah.
One more thing that I need to say, and I hope everybody is listening to me. The thing is, that I was actually the president of People First state chapter. Becca knows this. She helped me organize the first ever Disability Pride Parade in Columbus. Come on, that was awesome. And I think that, Matt, you have such an amazing voice.
He sure does.
Stephanie, you're awesome.
Amy, are the storytellers free to leave, or are there more?
Oh, I think we are kind of wrapping. I'm sorry, Paul. Thank you for your kind words. I think we're kind of wrapping up now. Yes. Thank you all so much. I really hope that we can continue the conversation. Paul, thank you for your really wonderful insight. And we're going to post a recording of the event on the website as well. So again, you'll get an email with all the details, all the links and all of that. Anissa has a question. Yes, Anissa.
Real quick, I wanted to ask storytellers, what did you guys learn from each other when you guys became friends?
That's a great question. Matt, did you learn anything from anyone else you want to share?
Well, as far as Leah is concerned, then sometimes as far as forging relationships with individuals who don't talk much, that could be a good way to form close connections with animals, like Leah with her red-tailed boa, as well as the many other animals at the Phoenix Herpetological Society.
Yes, yes. Oh, Hezi had a question. No, the storytellers had workshopped their stories together, Hezi, so they'd already worked on them together and listened and gave each other feedback.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Sophie, do you have a quick question?
Hi, Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
No hellos. All right. I think she's going to take us out. Everybody, I just can't thank you enough for coming. Thank you for participating in our experiment, and hopefully it's just the beginning. Take care. Please feel free to reach out.
Amy, somebody wrote in the chat some questions.
I know we're just going to have to keep going.
In the words from High School Musical, the first one.
Yes.
This is the start of something new.
Oh, thank you, Paul. You are speaking Sophie's language. Yes.
I'm proud.
Thank you all. Let's give the storytellers one more round of applause.
Thank you.
Awesome, buddy.
Thank you.
Let me know when the next one is, Amy.
I'll let you know when the next one is. Yes. Take care.
I appreciate it.
Thank
you again.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Good to see you again, Amy.
Bye, Hailey.
Bye, Amy.
Hi, everybody.